Fashion, and I'm with
Faith Ferris. Hey, everybody. How
Hey.
are you doing?
Hi, everybody. And this week we have a very special show for you. We're going to Palm Beach, Florida, where art and jewelry are merging together. We're interviewing the managing partner of Provident Jewelry, where he's going to walk us through this new model of having art and jewelry together in the same store and one-stop shopping. A beautiful artwork on the wall, beautiful jewelry around your neck, all together. So this is going to be a very exciting segment to hear how this model is being worked out and how it's becoming so popular for shoppers all around the country. So stay tuned as we go and get a deep dive into Provident Jewelry in Palm Beach and art and jewelry.
And not only that, we are looking at a different side of styling. So you've heard about Beyonce stylists, Megan Fox, all of the different stylists, but we're looking at it from a business perspective. So tune in. It's all going to be great here on The Look.
This is Andrew Bernstein, also known as Dr. Fashion, and I'm with Eric Gantwerk, one of the managing partners for Provident Jewelers. Provident Jewelers has just opened up an incredible showcase in Palm Beach, Florida, where they are putting together a new dimension in not only jewelry, watches, but also with art. So Eric, we want to thank you for being on The Look TV, and we'd like to take a deep dive with you today about art and jewelry, art and watches, and why it's becoming so big as silent luxury and with a ever-growing marketplace for fine jewelry and art. What inspired you to do this? So if you could just give us a little background on Provident and what brought you to Palm Beach and into this unique form of art and jewelry.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for having me. So Provident Jewelry has just celebrated our 30th year anniversary. We started with one store in downtown West Palm Beach. We currently have 6 stores across Florida. We opened an art gallery about 7 or 8 years ago and a jewelry store, much smaller, both of them in Palm Beach. The Palm Beach jewelry store started about 10 years ago. And we had this idea that our clients seem to overlap drastically between jewelry and art, and really be looking more for a lifestyle situation. So we searched for almost 2 years in Palm Beach to find the perfect location. We only had 3 months to build our store out and get open with our Palm Beach season, but we've created a really new, modern, sleek environment that has both jewelry and art. We carry both the masters and we carry contemporary art, and we do the same in the jewelry world, from antique and collectible estate pieces to new modern collections and timepieces. So we try to do a little bit for everybody. We want it to be more lifestyle, so people who collect seem to collect everything. They collect cars, they collect watches, jewelry, and art. So we definitely found that there was a major overlap in our clientele, and we decided it was time to bring them together.
I think it's quite exciting. And Eric, as you are talking, I know you are sitting or standing in front of a beautiful piece of artwork with a gilded frame. It looks like a masterpiece. Could you just turn around and tell us a little bit about that piece? And as you're doing that, a great question for you. Is there a piece of jewelry or a watch that you think might coincide with that piece of art, if anybody was asking you?
This is a piece from one of the masters. This is Francisco Jones' piece. This is from the 1950s. It is oil on canvas. It's a very special, very rare piece. In the store, we have many pieces like this. Jewelry-wise, we actually right now have a really rare 6-carat fancy green diamond that actually accents the colors of the painting very similar. It is, again, a rarity, something that you don't find anywhere else. One of a kind, like the painting. I think they do do kind of blend together and would make sense together for our collection.
I think that's incredible. And when you were putting this concept together, I know there are quite a few art galleries in Palm Beach Island and obviously in Miami and Boca Raton and all throughout South Florida because it's so well known and everybody migrates to Palm Beach and South Florida, certainly in the winter. But what really, I know you mentioned a little bit before, but putting this all together, it's almost a one-stop shopping for somebody who's really looking for everything, looking for a piece of jewelry, a fine watch like Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, Jacob and Company, and then looking as they are looking and sipping a cappuccino and looking at your artwork. Is that kind of your thoughts about putting this together and what you wanted to convey to the consumer, to the ultimate class consumer?
Absolutely. There's no question that, as I mentioned, the clients are very similar. So we happen to, as a company, own several other companies. One of our companies is the Palm Beach Show Group. So we own the jewelry and the Palm Beach Show, the Jewelry and Art Show. This is the convention center on President's Day weekend. And we noticed that all of our clients were very similar. They went from booth to booth, from the art to the jewelry, back and forth. There was no clients that were only art or only jewelry, and they seemed to really like the synergy and the connection of them together. We decided to take that philosophy and put it into a space that would be our own, trying to curate the collections of both jewelry and watches, very similar to the idea of how we curate a show when we're picking different vendors and different exhibitors to come and show their wares. And so we thought the same process for a store would make sense. We've had a very good reception from the locals here, no question. With a 30-year history in Palm Beach, they know the brand already, and they're happy to see something different. Everyone is used to very simple branded stores, very simple art galleries, and I think there's a different feel that it's much more comfortable to come in, spend time with us, go through art, jewelry, sit down and have a cocktail with us, and enjoy the environment.
And Eric, when you are working with clients, I know many are well educated in the world of art, certainly well educated in jewelry and watches and even fine cigars. Anything that's an art form, you have collectors and people certainly who have the knowledge and whatever. How do you educate some of the people? Some maybe not so well versed in art. I mean, perhaps they have the money, they want to get into it and so forth. So is somebody coming in and being wowed by that wonderful artwork behind you? Or are they looking around and say, I love this? Or are they coming in also and saying, I would like something, can you get it for me? Certainly with the art and maybe even in the jewelry.
So the answer is probably all of the above. We have different people coming in for different purposes. Our collectors, majority of them, if it's jewelry or art, know as much as us, if not more than us, about most of the pieces, about the history, the provenance, where pieces have been, and they love to share what they know, and we love to learn from them. In the same manner, we do have a staff, and I have partners with us in the art world that are multi-generational, as I am. I'm a 6th generation jeweler. We have been doing this our whole life. It's all we know. So we love to share what we know with people. So it goes both ways. I think that the importance in both jewelry and art is similar, that you don't just buy a piece of either, you really curate a collection. And there are ways to do it if it's for style, or if it's for investment, or for personal taste and wear. It depends, but I think they're very similar how they work together.
That's incredible. And you've been open now a few months since November. Congratulations. I think it's fabulous. In fact, I love the your walls. I think that color tone is so impressive with the gold, with the green, with the painting. Certainly even what you're wearing, it's just totally tone on tone, which is incredible. When you are working with clients and, they are, coming into the store, as you mentioned before, many would see this in the window and whatever. Are many coming in sort of as a curiosity, saying this is something new, looking at the jewelry and the art? are some obviously coming in because they're coming to you, 30 years, incredible reputation in jewelry and now in art. Who are these customers that are coming to? Who is your clientele, the demographic, who is coming to Provident and looking really at this new kind of model for retail, for jewelry, for fashion?
I have personally spent almost 30 years on and off Fourth Avenue. I believe that the clientele of Palm Beach has been very consistent. There is a Palm Beacher who's here seasonally, who loves to come in and wander and shop regularly. Our clients have actually changed drastically. There are so many people who have relocated here. There's so much tourists in the market now that we are seeing 30 or 40% new clientele that come in daily. We're in a new location, so they like to see what we do. They come in to tour the store. We have a lot of repeat business and a lot of appointments that are regular, but we're meeting as many new people as we have existing clients at this point, which is why we wanted to be in a more prominent location in the middle of the street. We're across from Gucci. We are where the action is right now, and we're definitely feeling it. And people seem to come in happy to find something different and new.
If you're interested in art, jewelry, watches, you need to check out Provident Jewelers, whether you're in Palm Beach or South Florida or not. This is the future of jewelry and fashion. So check out Provident Jewelry, and we'll have all the information on our website at thelooktv.net and at Provident Jewelers for you to look at. If you're in the area, please go and see Eric and his incredible staff. Eric, we really want to thank you from our viewers on Look TV for sharing some time with us today, sharing art and jewelry and what it means today and how our viewers can get involved and check it out. And thank you for the education of this growing and unique field, and how it's growing and changing the way we see art and jewelry today. Eric Antwerp, thank you so much. Provident Jewelers in Palm Beach, Florida, and in South Florida. Thank you, Eric, and thank you all of you for joining us, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Andrew Bernstein, also known as Dr. Fashion, and this is The Look TV, and I'm with Faith Ferris, our co-host, and today it's all about styling, the world of the stylist. And as you know, we're in award season, the Grammys, the BET, the Oscars, and so many other award shows on the red and gold carpet. And we have so many stylists who style Beyonce and Rihanna and J-Lo. But here we have Veronica Camacho. She's a different stylist. She's really a corporate stylist. Veronica has over 20 years in the business, and she works with companies, retail companies, really around the world on how they style. And Veronica has been an editor and working with magazines like Elle and so many others in the area of glamour and fashion and beauty. So, Veronica, we're so happy to have you on The Look TV. Welcome to the show. And we can't wait to do a deep dive into the world of the stylist and what you do.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here. So excited to have this moment with you both.
And it's great to have you.
Thank you very much. Super excited.
Well, and we're excited to have you. And Veronica, as we mentioned, award season, red carpet, beautiful celebrities out on the red carpet who've been stylized in Valentino, Dolce & Gabbana, Saint Laurent, Dior, and so many others. But you really work a little bit on the different side of the styling world. Can you tell our Look viewers really it is what you do and how you do it?
So basically, I get hired by corporations like Chico's, Perry Ellis, just to name a few, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, to put their look together based on their image, to kind of revamp to have an interpretation of my style, to help them achieve a better style or a better overall look so that their sales could be, better and they could sell more. Their websites look better. Everything is polished. Everything is clean. It has a little bit of an edge. That is my style. I have that little bit of an edge. So that's basically what I get hired to do day in and day out.
And how does the process work, Veronica? You get hired by Chico's or one of the big brands around the country. What do they have you do? I know you also work a bit with e-commerce and online and so forth. So what's a day in the life of Veronica working with a huge corporate giant like Chico's?
So basically I get hired, they contact my agent. If my calendar allows, we put the dates on the calendar. I get paid by the day. And we go through the process of meetings, me finding out more about the client, me finding out what they need from me, how far they want to take it, how edgy they want to take it, how much of a revamp they want to do. And then I start doing my work, which is seeing what they have existing, seeing what they need, kind of filling in the void and putting the pieces to the puzzle together to eventually have the final picture. So that process, sometimes it takes 3 days, sometimes it takes 4 days, 5 days, sometimes it takes 2 weeks, depending on their budget, depending on what the outcome they want. And then, to withstand that temporary fix, because next month we're going to do it all over again. So it's not just a one and done. It's every season you have to be ready to revamp that to another level, to another level, to another level. And that's across the board.
So then are you going and, let's say, picking out different clothes and styles for the companies to then be having in their stores?
Well, no, I have to. So like companies like Macy's and Chico's and Bloomingdale's, I have to use their clothing. So I'm working with what they have and trying to put it in such a way that's pleasing to the customer, that speaks at a higher level, that says, I'm elegant, I'm easy, I'm chic, and here I am. And also for the customer to not get too confused, because that's the bottom line. Your focus is the customers, the consumers. Well, I don't want them to get lost or confused, so I have to simplify that and make it ease. Throw on a jacket with the t-shirts that they have, put on a pair of heels, allowing my clients to see it in a way that they would never put it together.
So when we walk into a store like Chico's, we see the mannequins dressed in an outfit. Is that sometimes your styling that we see when walking in?
No, what you see is the billboards around the store. That's what I've done.
Gotcha. Very cool. That's definitely a very important thing for us to see, because, when we're walking in there and seeing these things, it definitely gives us inspiration on what we want to come out with. So that's awesome.
So I basically set the tone for the retail end of it to put it together into this, to mirror that as much as they can.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Veronica, is that also working with the fashion directors of the store as far as what they're looking for and their ideas incorporated with yours? Well,
I don't work with retail. I just work with the corporate. So that's the chain below. How they they have to dictate that to the retail side of the company. I just do I coordinate with the merchandisers, the photographers, the art directors, and the fashion end of it, the top tier, basically. And then that trickles down.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And Veronica, could you give us an example of sort of a fun day or a fun theme or a project that you did that turned out so well for the client, the company, the store? Could you share one of those projects or maybe more than one with us?
I have one in particular. It was for a studio called Blonde & Co. in New York City, and their big client was Revlon, and it was to do Halloween costumes, but it was all about hair products. So they wanted a mime, a ballerina, a magician, and a showgirl. So the tricky part was to get costumes. So now I'm not working with existing wardrobe. I have to make this myself. So I have to go out and find who could provide me with a magician, but still be fashionable, who could provide me with a ballerina, but still be fashionable, The same thing with the showgirl. They didn't want feathers and plumes. They wanted none of that. So the client didn't like, was a vegan, a true vegan. So they didn't want any plumes, any feathers. So I had to create these amazing, 4 amazing looks from fashion. And I did it. And I will share with you the outcome because it was superb. It was spectacular. And we had so much fun doing it. The shopping was incredible. The client was super happy and it just came out flawlessly.
That's very exciting. We can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
What about, Veronica, what about your, you have been an editor, you work with some of the best fashion magazines around the world. How did your background in education, working as an editor, translate to what you are doing now? Can you share that with our viewers?
Of course, it all coexists with each other. Like I'm still editing. I'm still an editor in a lot of magazines. If I have, the free time and my schedule permits, then I'm never going to say no to an editorial job. That's still in existence. It hasn't gone away. So, which is great for me because that gives me a different side of my fashion corporate world to be able to enhance it with the more edgier, more creative side of my business, if that makes any sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's a little bit confusing unless you know and you're in it, everybody thinks it's all, it's easy. You put just clothes together. Well, no, you literally have to do your research sometimes and create the look. I believe you have 20 seconds to tell a story in fashion.
Absolutely. Can you tell us, for our viewers watching, kind of your story on how you got to where you are today? And if other people are interested in this type of career path or area, kind of tell them how you came up to here?
Of course. Well, I graduated from Berkeley and I was placed as an assistant fashion director in New York City. So basically what that is an assistant stylist. And I traveled all over the world, went to beautiful locations. It was a company called Brownstone Studio and it was a catalog house. So I was there for about 3 years. Then I came to Miami and I fell in love with Miami and I quit my job basically and started freelance, and I started assisting every stylist I could possibly imagine for a good 4 or 5 years. And then I started transitioning into the stylist, into lead stylist, into junior stylist. So eventually I started actually doing commercials and music videos, which is a different ball game altogether. It's 16-hour days. It's no sleep, but so much fun. I learned so much, and that's how I started developing the techniques that I have, the work ethics that I have, the stay in your lane kind of thing. And because commercials and music videos are a whole different beast. But yeah.
Veronica, before we leave you today, any words of wisdom for our wonderful Look viewers? Oh my God, there is a wonderful viewer in the background.
That's my baby.
Veronica's pooch, who's
she'll be famous.
a big fan of our show, who's wearing Veronica pet fashion. Any words of wisdom for our viewers? I know everybody's going to be so inspired by what you've done and what you're doing now. What can you share with all those people out there who would love to know more and just hear a little bit more about Veronica?
Just be you, be authentic, be you. If you find the confidence within yourself, everyone is beautiful, everyone is unique. Express yourself through your fashion, through your clothing, have that confidence, never lose that. And, people need to remember that beauty is within, not just outside. And
that's all about the look, which ties in so well to the name of our show. Veronica, thank you so much for being with us today. And we hope to have you back again soon, because I know come March, you're going to have some more great information on the shows, the styles and everything. So we would love for you to share that with our Look viewers in a few months. So
I will be happy to. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Veronica. Faith, that was really exciting. Art and jewelry in Palm Beach. Who knew? And corporate styling. We all thought that styling is just done for Beyonce and Rihanna and everybody else. So this is a really new take on corporate styling. Very exciting information for our Look viewers.
Absolutely. I think we're just kind of showing you all the different ways that fashion is incorporated into the world. So it's nice to hear a different perspective from somebody you might not have heard of before as far as business styling goes. So it was great. It was a great show.
On behalf of me, Dr. Fashion, and
Faith Ferris.
we're going to see you next time on The Look.